Well, hi there. Glory! How's everybody this evening? What do we got? We got a little, whoops.
And
We got a little bit of a crowd in here. We'll build the crowd. We'll build the crowd. Freaky Fish Lady digging the ad channel. Yeah, you bet. I love it. Ruben joined the group on Discord. Bravo. Oh, is asking. What is he saying? He already belongs. Join the group on Discord. Yes, do. Absolutely. It's a great gang. Dane Ritz. Ritz, right. Hello. Happy Friday to you. C.W. McGowan. Good evening. I'm going to take my ears off. Somebody comes up, then I'll put them back on. I'll turn the fan off. Cut the noise down a bit. Dennis Christensen. Hi there. Cooper Cichlids. Freaky Fish Lady. Jay Blumquist. Gray Donager. Craig. Detroit Shrimp. Hey, Detroit. James Green. Lumpy Dog. Freaky Fish Lady. Is that everybody? We're getting close. I think it's everybody. Let's see who's coming in now. 3G. Craig. Ruben, yes, you were already joined. You've been active on it for a while. But boy, it's had a lot of fun. If you've not gotten over to Discord, you check it out. You'll love it. It's great fun. Angles Aquatics. Hello, hello. Frank is here. Hello, Frank. You and the ichthys around you. You and the ichthys. What are you talking about? Marty 80. Hey, Marty, Bunny Viper. Hi, Bunny. Frank and I are going out collecting. Sunday, we're going to try to get up to Longboat Key and see if we can't get some really good quality saltwater stuff. That should be great fun. I've gotten wonderful things there in the past. I haven't been back for a long time, so I don't know what's going to happen. But we'll see. It'll be fun. That'll be Sunday. We'll try to get some video if we at all can do that. Be good to be. It's a neat place. I have some video from way back when I went there with John Patterson, and we were out chest deep pushing nets in the rain, and we had cameras out there. It was fairly amazing. I don't know if we did any video. It might have been just stills. I think it was just stills. Once in a while, I run across those pictures. I need to dig them out and try to, next time I see them, try to get them up. Really kind of remarkable. An unusual kind of picture. Mermaid's Chorus. Hello, hello. Let's see. Well, I did a new video today. Did a video entitled, what's it entitled? I don't even know. Let's see if I can find it. Whoops. Let me go over here. Get back in. It's about water memory. Water memory. And it turns out water memory is a thing. Who knew? So I've investigated it, studied it somehow at length, and discovered that it's pretty remarkable. Water memory and your aquarium. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Water memory and your aquarium. So What is water memory? Well, it turns out there's been some really fascinating research that's been going on now for about 25 years, studying the electromagnetic impulses in water and how they are reflective of the animals and or other biological material that is or has been in that water. So, T-Bone just got back from walking the dog. Hey, T-Bone, Aquafinity. Who's this? Mach 389. Aquatic Ness. Xanadu. Fabulous Fish Fam friends. Good to see you. So, what these guys have done is taken a electromagnetic pulse of water after a given biological item was in it, determined that electromagnetic pulse matched the animal that was living in it or the biological material that was in it. They then took that, digitized it, sent it across the internet to another laboratory where it was introduced to another body of water, which accepted it, adopted it, and became identical to the body from which it was sent. Now, tell me that ain't something really interesting. Well, here's the thing. Here's where all this comes down. It turns out that the longer your water remains in the tank with fish and plants, the more it adapts to and becomes the same kind of energy as the fish and the plants. Right, Xanadu, all life is electromagnetic. That's exactly right. It is energy. And the water retains the signature of that energy from the fish and the plants and the like. So as it is in there longer, it becomes more imbued, if you will, with the fish and the plants and the other living organisms in it. So it becomes at one with the critters, the creatures, the life, the whatever is in the water. So the water changes. The water becomes something very different. It becomes more harmonious, more at one with the animals living in it. So the longer that water is in there with the fish and the plants and the microscopic life, the more balanced it becomes, the more in harmony it becomes, the more it supports and nurtures and sustains the life that's in it. What about the water that floats over the sides of the flat earth? It doesn't count, lumpy dog. That water doesn't count, because water that's gone is gone. And if it's just cascading over the edges of the earth, then we really can't consider it anymore. It's of no consideration, of no significance whatsoever. Only the water that is here is what matters. Now, think about this for a minute. Maple Street. I need to talk to you, Maple Street. I need to figure out how to use two cameras. I can't get it right. I get an echo that is mind-blowing. We need to talk about it. We need to figure it out. Okay, so here we go. If I lost it, I think I lost it. The water, it'll come back to me. I'll get it. The water, the water, the water. The water is, I was going to do something with this. Oh, I know what it was. I got it. Okay, here we go. The water coming into your tank, where does it come from? What's the source of that water? Is the source of that water some kind of water plant, pumps, pipes, a whole mechanical system? Those contain electromagnetic pulses, don't they? So the water takes that on. When that water hits your tank, what is it? It ain't natural. It ain't what the fish want. It ain't simpatico with them. It's coming in with a whole mechanical electromagnetic enterprise that may be so substantially disruptive that it kills your fish. Now, how many of you have ever had fish die when you did a water change and you checked the pH and that wasn't the problem, and you used a dechlorinator? So what was the problem? Well, here we have something new to worry about, something new and different to fret over. But the flip side of that is it is magical, because the water comes in. Suppose instead of coming through a water plant, suppose it comes out of a well. It's flowing through the ground. It puddles, pulls up in a well. You know, a well is nothing more than a hole in the middle of a water table. Think about this. You got water flowing and you got a hole going right down into it. So as the water flows through the hole, it doesn't fill it up. It just flows through it. So this natural water that's flowing through, you never thought about this, did you? That's flowing through the water table might be 5 feet down, might be 20 feet down, might be 40 feet down. Who knows? Wherever the water table is, it's flowing. It doesn't just sit there. It's actually moving. It's flowing. And as it flows, it goes through all kinds of strata that purify it, that render it pure. So it comes up out of the well, through the pipe, into your fish tank. And suddenly there are fish and there are plants, and it's so joyous. The water is so happy. It's finally out of the ground, out of the dark, and in the light. And all of these wonderful little creatures are swimming around in it, and it loves all of it. It takes on all of the energy, and it just fills itself with their joy and their expression and their life and their vigor. And it provides for them that kind of joy, that kind of love, isn't this wonderful? Don't you love it? I think it's fascinating. So we got a whole new approach here to water. Water has memory. Who knew? Water not just has memory, but water has life. Water is alive. It contains energy. Energy is the foundation of all things, and most especially of all living things. And the water takes on the energy of the living things in it and becomes at one with them. So Your water is alive. It's alive. Flat water. No, it ain't flat. It's joyous. Joyous. So that's where we're at. We're now, what does this mean in terms of doing water changes? Well, it means you do a water change when you need to do a water change, not when you do not need to do a water change, because the water that's in with those fish has adapted to those fish. Now, if something becomes contaminated, if there becomes a substantial deficiency, if there is something wrong with the water, with the balance, with the energy, with the whatever, then yeah, you do minor water changes, 10%, small water changes. If it's not better in a few hours or the next day, do it again. But you do it slowly and you do it gradually. Now, there are times when things get bad out of hand, and you need to dump the whole thing and start over. Well, it happens. And when it happens, you do what you got to do. But if you don't got to do it, you don't got to do it. So don't do it when you don't got to do it. Do it when you got to do it. Many of us are accustomed to doing routine and regular water changes. I've about reached the point with that where I'm prepared to say, don't do that. Don't do that. Unless you have a tank that is so loaded with fish, so full of fish, and you're feeding so heavily that there's no way that system can maintain itself week to week without dumping a whole bunch of new water in, then by all means. But in virtually all instances, that's not the case. Now, I know in some cases it is. You know, I look at Kenny's tanks. He's got some tanks with big fish and a lot of them. And he has got to do water changes in there in order to maintain the quality, just the basic quality of that water. So God bless him. He has to do that. But if you've got a dozen little guppies in a 20-gallon tank and you got a bunch of plants growing in there and you're feeding very, very incrementally in tiny bits, don't do it. You're just going to create more trouble than it's worth. Do water changes when you need to do water changes, and be aware that that water is in a very symbiotic relationship with the animals and the plants that are living in it. So it is accustomed to them and is providing for them a kind of environment that is uniquely beneficial for them in a way that new water is not. Do you get that? That's a different way of thinking about water. The water that's in the tank has adapted to, has changed, has become in a very real way a family member. I don't know how to describe this exactly. It's come into a full bonded relationship, if you will, to the animals living in it. It is supportive of them in a very deep and a very profound way. It is not in any way disjunctive, not in any way in conflict, unless some pollution is created or unless some foreign influence or foreign chemical or whatever comes in and just screws the whole thing up. But if it's a healthy, balanced environment, then that water is uniquely beneficial to the animals that are living in it, uniquely so, in a way that new water is not. So all I'm really saying here is, if you're going to do water changes, don't do 50%. Don't even do 25%. Do 10%. Do a small amount. If you want to do that routinely, that's okay, because you're not disrupting things substantially. You do a major water change and you are disrupting the balance, the environment of that aquarium substantially, in a way that stresses the fish, stresses the plants, and can create real crisis. Love your water. Love your water. All right, where are we at here? A supported food chain, you bet. The water is an organism, says Chris. It is indeed. It functions as one. We may not recognize it as such, but it certainly functions as one. Kevin wants to know, how often should we be cleaning our HOB sponges? And my attitude is, you clean them no more than once every 6 months. When it reaches the point where you absolutely cannot tolerate it anymore, then by all means change it. Try to have two, however. So when you pull one out, the other one is still maintaining the kind of biological integrity that it's a part of. When you take that filter out, you're taking out part of an organism, part of that environment, and you're changing that environment. So when you do it, you want to do it with thoughtfulness and care. You want to take, if you've got two sides, take one out, leave the other in, put that in, and then a week or two later, you can take the other one out. But try not to do it frequently. Do it as infrequently as you can tolerate. Dennis Christensen, I have a dead pear tree. I believe I can cut the branches for use in the aquarium. Do you have any idea how long to soak it or treat it before adding to the tank? Excellent question. Is it dead like dead, like you can snap the branches and they snap off? No set, doesn't bend, no willow effect. It's like, what's that called? A stand. What's that called? A dead tree standing in a field. It's a word for it. Can't remember it. Anyway, if it's like that, then go ahead and put it in a bucket, put it in a barrel, put it in something, and sink it down. Put rocks on it to hold it down under the water, and let it sit there. Let it sit there until it becomes completely waterlogged. When it is then completely waterlogged, if there is any, I don't want to say discoloration, any foulness, anything in the water that is rank, pour it out and refill it. And do that as often as you need to until that log or that water, that branch can stay in there without creating any kind of byproduct. Once it reaches that point and it's waterlogged, you can take it out and put it in your tank. I would not break a branch off a tree and stick it in a fish tank, because it's going to kill the fish tank. All of the sap that's in there is going to be dead. It's going to foul the water. It'll create a real disaster. I know that's true because I've done it. Keep in mind when I say something, I say it based on my experience. Now, my experience is not everybody's experience, but it is my experience. And in large things, in general things like that, you can pretty well extrapolate between situations. So don't break a branch off a tree and throw it in the tank. Soak it first. Soak it extensively for months, maybe 6 months to a year, until it is thoroughly waterlogged. It's begun to break down. It's fully dead, no sap. Absolutely right, Craig says. Absolutely. Water holds all the information of life itself, George Trotter. That's it. That's it. Water holds the information of all the things that have lived in it. There was a movie about this called Water Memory or something like that, a science fiction thing, where they took the water and they made it turn into a tree. Well, that's outrageous because you can't reverse engineer energy. It moves in one direction. But it nevertheless retains the energy footprint of whatever it was living in the water until something else comes along that conflicts with it or that in some way changes it. And perhaps it continues to retain all of those memories. I think likely it does. Color guppies. I siphon waste, and that dictates how much water I typically change. I would say 10 to 20%. More if I want to induce spawning or breeding. That's about right. That's about right. What's the spawning breeding thing is interesting. It pertains to rainy seasons and dry seasons. In a rainy season where the levels of the water rise and begin to cover parts of the forest floor, that water assimilates more and more of the tannins and energies and nutrition of the jungle floor, and so it becomes much more rich in biodiversity and in microfauna, which is the natural and foundational food for baby fish. So when the water begins to change, when it becomes fresher, if you will, then the fish come in, they begin to get into a spawning mode, because what's going to happen is that water is going to be supporting more and more life, especially microscopic life, which is going to provide nutrition for their babies. So yeah, absolutely right. Tennessee Aqua is here. Hello, hello. The nano aquarium guy. Thank goodness water has memory. I have daughters and see frozen 2 billions of times. I know what he's talking about. I know. I have a granddaughter. My daughter's movie was, what was it called now? Mercy. Oh my, that's funny. I've forgotten. It was about two groups of creatures, one of which were monks and the other of which were foul birds, and they merged into one. What was that movie? Somebody will know. I've I've never forgotten the name of that. Ah, it's not coming up. All right, let's just drop it for the moment. Casual Aquatics. Hello, hello. Frozen, right. They watch it and they watch it and they watch it and they watch it. T-Bone. T-Bone has just donated $3 to the cause. Thank you, T-Bone. You're a good man. Super sticker from T-Bone. Thank you so much. You're a faithful friend, T-Bone. Too cooly for schooly. James Green. And Emery moves toward maximum entropy, much like my desktop. Okay. I'm obviously not getting something here. I don't know. I shouldn't even try to go back and figure things out because I never got them right. Here, Sandy Diamond has a father fish. I'm away from home working horses on Vancouver Island and catching your chat. Well, Sandy, delighted to have you with us. That's wonderful. Vancouver Island, working horses. How fun is that? All right, we're jump past this. Here, Fishy says, nice shirt. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Let me get T-Bone out of the way. This is new merch. New merch. Father Fish merch. Let's see. T-Bone's asking Casual Aquatics, when is your next live stream? So maybe he'll say. Okay, here we go. Here, Fishy. Is the water I dump out of the dehumidifier in the basement basically just distilled at that point and okay for tanks? It depends on the container that it drips into. Obviously, if it's copper, you're not going to want to put it in the tank. If it's plastic, it'll probably be fine. You want to make sure that what's growing, if anything, in that water. It may have mold in it. It may have some other kind of biological in it because it's been sitting there for a while. So just kind of use common sense. If it stinks, don't put it in. If it's got a lot of muck in it, don't put it in. But if it's clear, clean, coming out of a plastic or maybe an aluminum or a steel container, it's probably going to be just fine. Yes, it's basically distilled water. The movie from the 60s. No. Later, the dark, what? Dark something. Dark Crystal. Thank you, Christina. Got it. Dark Crystal. My daughter watched that 2 or 3 times a day for at least 2 years. I think it became a central force for, I hope, good. I think good in her life. I basically felt as though it was a very moral, had a very moral theme. Strange in some ways because it combined the good and the evil into some greater good. But people are like that. If we treat people that way, I think we're okay. Because people are not hopelessly evil. There is always hope for the worst of sinners. I know from personal experience because I'm one. And there's always hope. If I didn't believe it, I certainly wouldn't be here now, would I? Casual Aquatics. It's got to go to work just on a break. Thanks for popping in, Casual. Nice to have you here. A wonderful large sandy leaf maple I collect its dry leaves. Can I prepare them for my tanks? If so, how? Yes, you certainly can. What you want to try to do is get some leaves out of a body of water that they've been in for a while and have begun to deteriorate, because they will have on them bacteria and fungus that you need in order to be able to break them down. They also will have a very diverse population of microfauna living on them. So if you get that and then put your leaves in with them, you can create a kind of a stew that way. Put them in a vat or a tub. Leave them outside for a few months until they begin to really deteriorate, and then begin bringing small amounts of that in and put it in your tank. T-Bun, I ran my parks and wildlife. I'm not allowed to go fish collecting in our state. Our waterways and streams are protected. Ain't that just terrible? Terrible. Terrible. In Maryland, a child is not allowed to walk into a stream and turn over a rock. A 5-year-old cannot pick up a rock and look at it unless he puts it back exactly where he got it from. And of course, he can't do that. So they don't want any children in any creeks moving rocks around. These people are insane. They're mad. They are godless creatures that have the most vile mentality, the most contemptuous attitude toward the relationship between humans and nature. My God. And we put them in charge? My God. I'll bet. Fish Tropic. I'll buy the shirt that says ho ho ho's with a father fish face mask. We might do a Christmas one. That would be fun. I do have some Christmas pictures with a Santa hat. Oh my, Debbie saw Dark Crystal in the theater. I'll bet that was very cool. I only saw it on TV 1,000 times. Go watch Little Big League, Fish Tropic says. Why and what? Little Big League. As long as no pesticides, good to go. Yeah, be careful of that. True enough. 3G picks up leaves from the yard and puts them in the tank. No problem doing that at all. It's helpful, though, if you can kickstart that system with some biodiversity. It'll be much more substantial, much stronger, and work much more effectively if you don't depend simply on what's already in the tank or what may drift in through the air. Can we hold a poll on what's the best pie? We need to get Father Fish a hot Puerto Rican woman that likes to cook pie. Works for me, Fish Tropic. A Puerto Rican woman that likes to cook pie. Well, all right. Pie. Why do they want me eating pie? What's this pie thing? Sandy Diamond. I don't have access to leaves and water, but I can put my collected leaves in a bucket. Yeah, just let them sit outside for a month or so. They'll pick up a lot. The longer you do, the better. So leave it out there permanently and take things out of it and put more in it. And it'll eventually get there. Emily, does anyone actually know that law? I don't know what she's referring to. Maybe the one I'm going to try and ring our state fisheries and see what they say. Good idea. Good idea. There's got to be a way to catch fish, for God's sake, or take plants out. Pecan pie. Oh my God. I don't eat pecan pie. I'm diabetic. It would kill me. I would be dead. It's pure sugar. And it's wonderful. Wonderful. Lots of godless creatures these days, said Chris. God knows. Ain't that the truth? Lemon meringue. I like, my favorite is chocolate meringue. My mother used to make a chocolate with Hershey's powdered chocolate. And I don't know what she put in it. Hershey's powdered chocolate, certainly sugar, beat eggs in it, cream or milk, cream, I think. She would make a pudding that was to die for. Didn't taste anything like store-bought puddings. Nothing. They have a bitterness about them. This was never bitter. It was chocolatey and sweet. It was wonderful. She also made a bread with this. She would make vanilla with raisins and chocolate. What did she call it? Boy, the brain isn't working today very well, I'll tell you. Bread. It was like firm, very firm. So you could cut it and pick it up and eat it. These were the desserts and the treats of my childhood. And they were all made from scratch, everything. Everything was scratch. You can collect in Missouri except in protected cold water spring caves. Rules are meant to be broken, here Fishy says. Move those rocks, kids. You betcha. Let's see. Emily is seconding pecan pie. Yep. Angles Aquatic says, you can learn about the fish world if you don't get in and see you can't learn about the fish world unless you get in and see the way it works. Yeah, that's right. That's really key. If you can't understand that tank until you see fish living in the wild and are able to spend time studying them and watching them and see the water and understand what's happening there. You get a feel for it. The more you do it, the more you get a kind of feel for it. I never really understood that, but I'm finding it more and more the case. I remember Henry Hall could look at a tank and know what the pH was. I can't do that. But I can look at a tank and know if the fish are happy in it, if it's a healthy tank. We all should be able, we all should be able to do that. And there's a deeper sensitivity to it, I think, of being able to, I can see it in this. I need to turn my other camera on to do this. I don't know if I can do it. Shall I try? It'll probably screw things up royally. We'll try. All right, we got it. This tank's been set up for many, many years. Yeah, minimum 10 years. Same substrate. I've added a little to it, but basically the same. Now, I moved here with it about 6-7 months ago. Drained it completely, brought it over. Some of these plants were still in it. None of the fish, of course. Refilled it with creek water, which it turns out was brackish water. Didn't like it at all. Pulled most of that out. Refilled it with reclaimed water. That's what I have. The use of is reclaimed water. Okay, so that's okay. For a while, It was simply killing everything I put in. Well, not everything, but an awful lot of stuff. I put pseudomagills in, couldn't keep them alive. Tetras, couldn't keep them alive. Just nothing really worked. And I couldn't understand why, so I didn't do anything about it. I just let it sit there. And lo and behold, it has become now a tank that sustains life. I've got new fish in here. I just got some rams that I'm really excited about, these guys, and they are loving it. They're all over the place. They're doing really, really well. So I'm hoping I've got at least one male in this bunch. So far I've seen, I think I've got 4. I sold a couple. I bought 6. So I may need to get some more. But they're just doing so well. So now I'm going to be able to start putting fish back in it again. I have put things like autocyclus in, and they've all done really well. But it's only been in the last 2 months or so that it's really straightened out and become a very healthy tank. Now, for my money, that's a demonstration of the way water changes to meet the needs of the animals that are living in it. It takes on their footprint. It takes on their almost their genetic structure. It takes on their energy level. Fish Tropic wants a ho 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 shirt. I don't think I want to do this. I don't think I want to do. We're not going to spell it that way in any case. If it's ho ho ho, it'll be HOHOHO. Blueberry pie. Blueberry pie. Blueberry pie. I like blueberry. How about huckleberry pie? Huckleberry pie. Strawberry pie. What else? Cherry pie, certainly. What else? Apple pie. Oh, the world loves apple pie. Ooh. Where are we? Is that a big apple snail? You know, I don't think so. But that is the biggest darn mystery snail I've ever seen. If it's an apple snail, it's the type that doesn't eat plants, because he doesn't eat plants. But that sucker is the size of a golf ball. He really is. He's immense. And I'm assuming it's a male because there haven't been any eggs. I've got a little mystery here, and I put him in there and hoping that they might breed, but they've not shown any interest in each other. I don't know what that is, truthfully. It's big. It's big like an apple snail. But I've had apple snails, and they were all monstrous plant eaters, and that one is not. He hadn't messed with the plants at all, so I don't know. Apple crumble pie. Mermaid says, although I love cake, pie is superior in my eyes. Probably in your belly, too. Flapper pie. Don't know what flapper pie is. Sandy Diamond, what is flapper pie? Ha! Fish says, however you want to spell it's fine with me. Rhubarb pie. Yeah, I've had rhubarb, strawberry rhubarb. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good stuff. Although I prefer, peach pie. Peach pie. Oh, my God, my grandmother used to she made peach cobbler. She didn't actually make peach pie. She would bake this dough and cover it in peach slices and drizzle sugar on it, I'm sure, and then bake it. Oh. Melissa Foster, hello. Nice to see you. Sue Ann Campbell, good evening, Father Fish, watching with my granddaughter, Sophie Ann, tonight. She wanted to tell you hello from her too. Well, hello, Sophie Ann. Happy to have you here. It is delightful to have you here. I think it's wonderful that we have children joining us. That's really, really nice. Tell us your favorite pie, Sophie Ann. And we're going to look for Sue Ann Campbell's post to see what it is. Oh, what else? What else? What else? Father Fish, are you still putting black cow in the dirt mix? Yes. The alternative would be to put some kind of manure or compost. Manure or a rich compost, a well-aged compost. That's basically what black cow is. It's sterile, of course, but it's a very rich, black, mulchy, kind of thick material. You really have to mix it in. It's like mud, only it's firmer. You have to mix it in with other stuff to kind of loosen it up. So I like to use peat moss and even potting soil to get that mixed up. Now, you can also add clay to it. Clay brings a very high mineral content in, but it's important to liquefy the clay first because solid clay is impervious to roots. They can't penetrate it. It's too dense. So you liquefy it and then pour that in with the rest of the soil, with the black cow, the potting soil, the peat moss, and mix it good. So you've got all of that mineralization mixed up in the rest of the soil. That makes it available to the plant roots when they get in there. Am I the only person who likes ice cream with pie? Of course not. Who said that? Fish tropic. Of course not. Chess pie. I think we mean cheese pie. Big tank egg. Hi, Big tank egg. Nice to see you. Cheese pie. Sounds like pizza to me. Is this something else you have in mind? Peach, it's wonderful. Trying my hand at homemade custard, says here Fishy. That should be delightful. Vanilla ice cream and whipped cream. Chris Trapp wants presumably on his pie. Fish tropic. Father is going to move into the country and eat him a lot of peaches. Yeah, I've got to get back up north to do that. At least Georgia, if not all the way to Maryland. I should get a bushel of peaches. I don't know anybody who does peaches anymore. My grandfather had a peach orchard. There's the real key. He had a peach orchard that had, I don't know how many, a bunch of different kinds of peaches that would come in kind of one after the other. And as the season wore in, the last ones came in mid-August. And they were the best. They were big, juicy, just scrumptious peaches. Don't remember the name of any of them. I know there were some Albertas, but that's about all I remember. I went with my grandfather to sell them. He would go out, we would go out and collect off the trees apples and peaches, put them in baskets, and then take them up in his truck to the supermarket and sit out front and sell them out of the car, out of the van, out of the pickup. He had a pickup. Sell them out of the pickup. And I used to sell them, and I loved doing it. I was little. I was like maybe 10 years old doing that. My grandfather had nice things to say about me doing that. Graham crust and vanilla pudding with meringue, browned, golden, and over. Now, the meringue has to be whipped egg whites with sugar. It's got to be an egg white sugar meringue and then browned golden. You bet. She said chocolate. Chocolate, that's my favorite too. Sophie Ann likes chocolate. And Father Fish likes chocolate. Mermaid said that's a super cool snail. It really is. He's doing really well. I just wish I could get some eggs or something. All right, moving right along here. Graham crust and vanilla pudding. I think we did that. Chocolate oven, pistachio. Oh, there's a new one. Pistachio pie. Where'd it go? I lost it. Vanilla ice cream with hot apple pie is amazing. Indeed, it is. Christina Whitaker says, my grandma was such a proper lady. After she passed, I found out she was famous for the naughty cakes. I guess she made a lot of her side money that way. That's funny. Funny stuff. Have you considered making an edible aquapontic tank with leafy greens? You know what I got today? Speaking of which, I got today, look at this. I got a magazine. I'll just drop the seeds. A magazine from Strictly Medicinal. It's herbal, and it is a world of herbal. In addition, I ordered seeds. These are Artemisia annual Sweet Annie. They will grow out in an aquarium. They are edible. They are medicinal. They are healthy. And they get right big. So we're going to get this going. My daughter is doing a garden as a part of the school that she runs in Maryland for autistic children. She has a farm which has a lot of animals on it, including dwarf cattle that stand less than 40 inches tall, and a garden. And she's putting in a big greenhouse right now to be able to get seeds going. So these are actually going up to her. We're going to get them going on the farm, and then we'll be able to benefit from some of that, we hope. But I want to get her a lot more herbs too. So I'm going to send her these herbs, and I'm going to send her this publication and hope she gets excited about it. So yes, that's what that is. That is creating an aquatic plant that is edible. Ta-da, right there. Ha-ha. Let's see, Big Tank Hank. Where we go? Strawberry rhubarb. Bunny Viper says, I make a lovely apple butter crumb pie with a delicate handmade crust from scratch. I'll bet. Oh my, apple butter crumb. I don't think there's a better pie in the world. I mean, I love chocolate. I think I love chocolate because my father, that was his favorite, was chocolate pie. But boy, an apple pie. Oh, Melissa Foster, Christina Whitaker, a Southerner. Chess pie is a custard pie, Big Tank says. So it is chess pie, a custard pie. Oh, wonderful. Oh, nobody said custard pie. Custard pie is wonderful. I love custard pie. Oh, here's one. John Sua, chicken pot pie. Absolutely. Nothing much better than that. You got it. Who's that? John Sua. John Sua Vlog. Chicken pot pie. That's Popeye. Chicken Popeye. Chicken Popeye. Not pot pie. Popeye. Chicken Popeye. Jeffrey. let's see, plenty of peaches here in Tennessee, but not near the fineness of Georgia peaches. Oh, there is a tree ripened peach is like nothing else in the world. There is nothing better than a tree ripened peach picked off the tree and stuck in the mouth with all the juices dribbling. It is nirvana, food of the gods. Atkins Nature Aquariums, Father Fish, how are you doing? Doing well, thank you, Atkins. Enjoying the chat here. Chicken pot pie ain't bad when it's right, says Fish Tropic. True enough, Melissa Foster, good memories. You bet. Asking Atkins, what's your favorite pie? And we just jumped all the way to the bottom of the page again. When I was little, I thought meringue looked like little birds. Oh, it does, doesn't it? You should try an Aussie meat pie, T-Bone says. You get beef and cheese, beef and bacon, beef and onion, all sorts of beef pies. I don't think I've ever had a beef pie like that. That's a Brit thing, I guess, isn't it? Christina Whitaker, Missouri. We're officially Southern, but not technically. My son lives North Carolina and gets hot when they call him a Yankee. Well, yeah, true enough for that. Homemade apple pie from scratch. Yummy in my tummy. You betcha, Atkins. All right. But a yummy in your tummy. Jean Campbell, egg whites also peak well in a chilled stainless steel bowl. You got to know how to do it. Absolutely. Scared to ask you, you're planning on making a pleco pie. Mermaid's Chorus. Funny you should ask. That will not be my first effort. My first effort will be to do an armadillo bake. And in an armadillo bake, the armadillo's legs and belly are peeled off, and the gut is removed, and shell and all, it's put in the oven to bake. Now that's my plan with the pleco, to slice the gut, remove the innards, and place it on a pan in the oven upside down to bake. And then when it is done, I envision using a fork to ferret out the meat. And then I'm going to taste it. And then I'm going to know whether this is something that's worth a second effort. Now, you all know, because I've said this before, I've been looking for the pleco. Well, I have a pleco. It ain't a big one. It's only about a foot long, but it'll do. It's out there right now with the mosquito larvae. So I'm going to have to put it in clean water and purge it well before I'm going to take the risk of cooking it and eating it. But we're going to do it. And we'll have to do it live. We'll have to do it video or something so we can share the joy. Oh, as well, you should have been Mermaid's Chorus. We got a Throw Up a Pie Lovers, 3.14. Jamaica beef pies. Here, Fishy, T-Bone. I've had Jamaican beef pies. And Fish Tropic likes all pies. No pie discrimination here. Recommend Baker Creek heirloom seeds. Chris Trapp says. The thing that excited me about this is they have a lot of chapters in here on presses, on health-related issues, on as well as seed collections. Just making plants medicine, the medicinal herb grower, seed cleaning, herb rubbing, and soil sifting screens, tincture press, and so forth and so on. Herbal resilience. It seems pretty thorough, but I'll look into this other source as well, because I want to start getting a lot of heirloom seeds for my daughter's farm. Melissa Foster says to John Sua, thank you for being so kind. And we all do thank you. Here, Fishy, I tried growing lettuce out of my tank at my own house, but the lengths weren't right. Should try again. There's no reason why you can't have some kind of tray on the top of the tank with pretty good lighting and be able to grow all kinds of plants in your aquarium, edible plants. No reason why you can't do that. American doesn't do meat pies. No, we don't. We don't do meat pies. Butterscotch pie. Ooh, that's a good choice. Butterscotch. What did Big Tank custard? Butterscotch custard pie. There you go. Now you got something good. Angles Aquatics. You need to check out another fish keeper. She's awesome. Rachel O'Leary. She travels and actually looks into fish natural habitat. She's remarkable. She is a personal friend. I know Rachel very well, and she is amazing. She is a remarkable woman. And I think some of the videos she's done traveling and visiting unique places are magnificent, just incredible. She's really responsible for the whole movement toward creating barrel containers, outdoor containers for raising fish. She's really the one who started that, and it's become just an amazingly effective way for a lot of people to be able to raise fish through the summer. Rachel O'Leary, love her. Listen, I've got two people here. Let me do this. I have two. We got people sitting here waiting to come up. I'm sorry, I haven't been looking. There's two Scully. Two Coley for Scully is here. Can you? Hi. Hello,
you can
hello.
Hear me okay?
Let me put my ears in so I can hear you.
Okay.
How are you?
Very cool.
Yes.
I'm great. I had a little question about my tank. This is my first foray into a dirted tank.
Okay.
And I had a problem where I put some water in. I had to leave it overnight. And it was down, you can see my sand layers really, really deep. And the water got really stinky overnight, and I worried, so I put some more sand in before I siphoned all that water out. And now my sand is so deep, I need you to talk me off a ledge. Do I need to put any fertilizer tabs? I know that's taboo.
No.
For some of these plants, no.
They'll
get all the way down there.
How deep is the sand?
Well,
I can't really tell.
It's
oh, I
deep,
see it
so.
now. I see. It's 2 to 3 inches, and then you've got what, 2 inches of dirt below it, an inch at least.
It's hard to see. It's an inch and a bit in some places more than others, but
where you've already got some dirt intrusion into that sand, that darker layer. So you're okay. It's not going to be a problem at all.
Okay.
Put your plants down about halfway, about 1.5 inches into that sand, and they'll do well.
Okay.
Now, if you can also put some leaf litter on top, just bring some leaves in and just kind of spread them around or make a little pile or whatever. That'll bring more life into that top too. It'll bring humus in. which is helpful for
Excellent.
getting plants started. So yeah, it looks great. I like it. Very nice.
Awesome. Thank you. Just ignore that you don't see the CO2 over there. That's not there.
Well, good for you.
Anyway.
That's great. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Okay,
You bet.
thank you.
Bye for
Bye-bye.
now. And this is 3G. Hey, 3G.
Hello, Father Fish. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful,
Look at this.
wonderful.
Isn't that stunning? Beautiful tank. Tell us about it.
Well, that's my Father Fish setup right there. It's deep substrate, got the natural organic potting soil in there with a black diamond cap on it. It's about 3.5 inches deep. This is 75 gallon.
Oh, it's a big tank.
And it's just a kind of a community tank. Got all kind of stuff in there.
Yeah, you sure do. What is that darting around there? Is that a
That is
catfish? An autosynclus, maybe?
Panda dog.
Oh, it's a pandagara. Right. I should have known.
There's
right.
4 of those in there, so it looks like it's going real fast, but it's just 4 of them. There's one after another.
Yeah, they're pretty neat. On the right-hand side here, you have a curly leaf plant. Is that an Aponogeton? A bulb?
Yes, sir.
Where it looks like it. That's such a beautiful plant. I love those things.
Yes, I really like the corkscrew leaves on it. It's really great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Crispus, isn't it? I think. I don't remember. I love it. Very nice.
A little brighter green also.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's a light green color. Now, the ones that are growing in the middle, is that like a jungle val, or is that Sagittarius? Do you know?
There is some
Melisneria.
there's some jungle val in there. That's all up to the top and growing all the way to the surface and laying over to a 3 foot on the surface.
Yep. That's a great plant. I've got a lot of that here too. I really like it. And then you've got swords. That's a pretty big, fat, thick sword there. He's got a lot of
some nice swords in there. Tiger lily, a bunch of crypts. Wind dead eyes.
Yes.
Windy eyes. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Right. I'm not sure either.
Dwarf sage. The wide leaf wisteria.
Yeah.
Frog
a lot
bit
of plants.
Frog bit floating on the surface.
Nice. Great tank. Really great tank. I love it.
Well, I just wanted to come up and thank you for coming on.
Well, thank you, 3G, and thank you for coming up and showing us your beautiful tank. It's really, really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Take care now.
A good night
Bye
and a good
for now.
weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Nice. What time is it? 9:40. We're way over, aren't we? Way over. I guess we need to go. I didn't get close to the bottom of the page. Shepherd's pie, chicken pot pie, says here Fishy. Robert Munch books. Who's that fish tropic? Well, my crayfish eat off my pleco algae eater. He's bigger. I don't understand the question. Crayfish will eat every plant in the tank. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, T-Bone likes 3G's tank. It is a beauty, isn't it? Absolutely. I have to get back to work on mine. Suffered. Okay. I think we are at the bottom. Okay, we need to make room for Lucas. He's on right now. I've been stepping all over him. Lost track of time. Thank you all for being here. It's been wonderful. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Water has memory. Remembering water. Take care. God bless. I will be back Sunday evening with Mary at 6 o'clock. See you all then. Bye for now.